Hi everybody, welcome to the video. I want to create this video as an introduction to this project that I've been working on. This project is very special to me and I've been having a lot of fun working on it. So I just want to kind of let you in on the product and the journey of building this MVP. Okay, so let's dive right in. Currently, I'm working on a dating app called Date Night for Montreal. What it is essentially a dating app that connects users with events and discounts around the city. Okay. In this presentation, I'm going to kind of go over the problem that I'm trying to solve with this project. We're going to talk about the user experience aspect of the app. And at the end, I'll give you a look into the actual product, the MVP, the design, and we're going to test out the small prototype together. Okay. What is day night? So I've had this idea for a little while now. When I used to work in the kitchen, a bunch of us was, sitting after our shifts, and this was during COVID-19, and a lot of restaurants are still in restrictions. After a long week of cooking and waiting for things to open up, we were talking about, the idea of going out again and meeting people again. And the idea is very simple. It's essentially, how come dating apps don't incentivize us to go out and meet other people? Um, I think that a lot of us who use dating apps, that was our kind of gateway to meet other singles and to meet other people, especially when you're new in the city. I was new. This is around 3 years ago. I was still new in Toronto. It was my first time moving to the city. So dating app was my outlet into, going to events and checking things out, right? And in the beginning, it was very fun. I got to go to some pretty cool events. I got to go on some amazing dates. And eventually, that kind of sizzles out. And you're left with just, chatting with strangers. Suddenly, you're not planning dates anymore. It just becomes kind of repetitive and, wasn't really fun anymore. So, yeah, that was the idea. I think it's a very simple idea, but also very effective if implemented correctly. And another thing is that I'm just, we're just wondering, like, how come, this was during COVID and a lot of places were still shut down, and Uber Eats was one of the few apps, third party delivery app that still got to operate. And we were wondering, it would be a great idea if we have something like that for the locals. So I'm hoping that that I can iterate on this idea. So I began to, just start talking to people about it. Every chance I get, I would tell my friends about it, just kind of get feedback on what they think about the idea. I also create a Google form with around 20 questions. I send them out to as much people as I can, and we got around 66 responses. So that was pretty exciting. I love this little survey. It has a little mix of open-ended questions, but also multiple choice. And we got some great feedbacks. One day we're gonna go through the survey together and we're gonna create insights together. This is part of the whole entire YouTube channel, is that we're gonna be going through some UX design methods together. So not only I did the survey, but I also conducted a bunch of user interviews. This was one of my favorite part because yes, the survey, you get some data points back from the online survey, but talking to users live is really important because there are certain nuances and certain emotions that you don't get from an online survey. So I was very happy that I got to conduct these interviews. And thank you for all of my participants that sat down with me and helped me with this. With these interview clips, I won't be able to show you the whole interview because this is for privacy reason. But I'll be creating insights out of those, and then you'll get to see those, how I use these insights to create user flows and customer journey maps. So far, what I got from my surveys is that safety is the number one problems that these dating apps are not tackling. Okay, we got a lot of feedbacks about, catfishing and fake profiles, people ghosting each other, and that was one of the main pain points that we want to tackle with date night. Okay, and number two is connection, right? We're trying to create a platform that incentivizes people to go out more. What's different about date night is that this gives us a chance to really dive deep into how to facilitate better authentic connections with users. We don't want to focus on the relationship aspect of the platform because we can't promise people that they're going to get married through date night. Since there is a event aspect to the app, we want to focus on creating that amazing date experience. Okay, so whoever you're with for that date, it's going to be an amazing experience. That event is going to be very curated, and you're going to leave the date forming authentic connections without expecting romance or marriage or whatever. That comes with time, right? Where we can't promise people marriage on the first date. Okay, safety and connection is the first two insights that we want to focus on. The third is, I'm not too sure yet. There is an incentive to support local businesses, and obviously the vendors, the B2B aspect of the app is with us and the vendors, right? So obviously they want to see couples coming through the door. They want to see a platform that gives them a user base. They want more customers to the door. We'll leave that out for later because I think we'll figure that out together. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the tech stack that I'm using. Of course, I'm using Figma because I have a user experience background. This is what I use to create prototypes and interfaces. We're also going to be using Claude 3.7 for to help us program the app. I've used ChatGPT before. I've also used Cursor, but I find that I always resort back to Claude because it is such a great user experience for coding and for programming. I just love it. It's a wonderful coding assistant. Visual Studio is a free code editor from Microsoft that I use. We're going to be programming the app in React.js for the front end. We'll be using some parts of Chakra UI for our interface components, and we'll be using Express and Node.js for the server. So before we look at the code and the design, I just want to kind of set the record straight that most of the videos I'm going to be creating will be working towards the user experience of the dating app. Okay, so because there are certain things in the servers that I cannot show you, just for security reasons, because the whole goal of this entire channel is to create a working product, right? So we're not just creating tutorials for you to upload on GitHub. We're gonna be finding product market fit together and how we can create products using modern technologies and AI if needed to create a working product. Okay, so let's jump right into the design. Okay, as you can see, I have different sections of the MVP already designed. Let's just zoom in so you can see more. So I have the main landing pages section kind of organized. I have the onboarding and another section where we have the design for the events page. So as the channel is focusing more on the user experience side of things, we're going to be working in Figma quite a bit. In the future video, we will be working towards designing different components in Figma, and then once we have everything designed in here, then we're going to take it and we're going to actually program out the design. Okay, I think it's time to show you the MVP now. Okay, so let's move away from Figma for a little while. You'll get to see it more in another video. So as you can see here, this is where we're also going to be spending most of our time. in is the code editor. I'm using Visual Studio Code, and of course our MVP. So you can see here, this is where you're going to be greeted with when you get onto the main page. I love the color of this. I love like the pink and the orange, how the gradient is like meshing in with each other in the background, and then the black buttons just makes everything look so like exquisite. Okay, so let's start our server. I'm currently logged out, so let's just start the server so we can log in to show you where we are in the project. Okay, so according to your log, we are connected to Mongoose and Mongo. Everything is good to go. Let's log in. I already have some example accounts already set up during my development, because I need to test as I go through the process. So we're gonna use Lana account to log in. Let's give it a second. My computer is so fast now since I upgraded my computer. I love this. Hopefully this is gonna last me a few years, so I won't have to spend any more money on my machine and just save my money to invest in all the aspect of the project. Okay, so this is our main dashboard. As you can see here, we are greeted with a beautiful card layout of all of your potential matches. Okay, on the side you have the sidebar where some of our useful links is going to be home match, which is this section here. We got messages, the events page, and your profile page. On the right side here is our, I don't know how to call this section. You can call it like a little, essentially we're going to be hosting like information about the platform. It could be like updates, it could be like onboarding tutorials for you to learn more about the app. It could be ads, where we're going to be hosting this on this sidebar here. I don't know, what should we call it? Okay, let's just go back to the main card. So I think you can see we got this beautiful deck of cards. If you click through them, the interface will change. Okay, so I want this component to act like an actual deck of cards. Okay, so if you click through it, you'll kind of flip through different profile cards. So the first card is it's your profile picture, and then the next one is your biography kind of, and I'm thinking of adding more functionality to it as we go, maybe like more pictures, videos, etc. So we just got kind of a simple kind of like the essential features for now, because we don't know if this will be useful or not, right? So the whole point of this is to have some basic structure and components and features laid out, and then we're going to test them and iterate to see which features is useful and which is not. Okay, so if you like a user, you can hit like, or you can skip a user. As you can see, some components are not connected to the backend yet, or there's some errors, so I'm still working on that. So that's okay. We're just gonna go back to where we were, so I can show you all the aspect of the app. So let's go to our messages area. As you can see here, I already got some, I already tested some messages with other users. You can send message to your match, and using Socket.io, the messages will get sent right away in real time. I'll explain more on what this event card next. Okay, so another aspect of the MVP, another section of the MVP that is very crucial to this product is that we have an events page, where this is where we're going to be hosting all of the events and all of the vendors that are partner with us through the platform. The top section here is all of the dates that you have already scheduled. So this is where you will find whatever dates that is coming up. You can reschedule or you can cancel. Just a basic component that will be that will come back to you later on. Down here is all of our explore area where all of the local events are being hosted on the platform at the moment. Obviously, these are just examples for this demo. We have festivals, we have the park, we have bars, live music. So whatever events that you are interested in, if you want to invite one of your matches to it, all you can do is send them an invite. Here is the invitation pop-up where it will render all of your matches, people who you've matched with. So you have to match with someone before you can invite them to an event. So during my user interviews, I have a lot of people, requesting speed dating features where instead of matching with someone, they can just attend an event on the app that is hosted on the app, and they're able to meet other users who's also attending from date night. And I thought that was a pretty great idea too. So we could be implementing that in the future, besides having the main invitation feature here. Okay, let's see who we want to invite this time. Let's invite Wayne. Okay, and now if you go back to Wayne, you'll see that we have just sent him an invitation to the jazz festival, and now we're just waiting for him to accept the invitation. Let's send him a reminder. Would you like to go to the festival with me? Hopefully Wayne says yes. Okay. So while we wait for him to reply, let's go to the profile page. The full profile page is where you're going to be editing your user profile. This is the information that you've already entered when you first sign up for the app, and here is where you essentially, if you need to update the information, then you can do it here. Okay. The last component that I want to show you. So as you can see here, we have Jennifer. Okay, if you click through her profile, you'll see that there's other cards in the profile that Jennifer have hosted in her deck. Okay, and how she was able to upload these pictures is through this post button right here. One of the questions that I've asked in my user interview is that if users are interested in having some form of a status update, okay, because user generated content is very important for any social media apps nowadays, because that's just how users are able to engage, interact with each other. So when you look at dating apps, they don't let you post like statuses per se, okay? But we want to kind of play around with that and see how we can come up with a way to let users upload their own contents. So they can upload, images or a status. It could be videos, and once they post it, it will get pushed onto the deck of cards. So when you click through somebody's deck of cards, you'll get to see more of their personal contents. And I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, this is where I am in the MVP. Moving forward, as you can see, there's a lot of things that needs to be kind of refined and fixed, right? So this is the whole point of the channel, is that we're going to be going through the whole entire process together, and every video will be a process or a chance for us to develop and design a component or some aspect of the app together. So when you go through the user experience journey, you have to take insights from your research and then iterate on what you find. And we're going to be doing that together. Okay, so I think this is it for today. The next video, I want to iterate on a component together. We'll actually get down to work and figure out how we can redesign a component in Figma, and then bring that over to our code editor, use our AI tools to help us build that component essentially. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you enjoy this little introduction to my MVP. I'm very excited to start the next video where you get to see me work in real time. This is what's cool about this channel, is that not everything is perfect and not everything is going to have a smooth trajectory. You get to see me make mistakes, learn how to do research together, and essentially learn how to solve problems together. Have a good day and see you next time. Bye bye.